Yo, what's up? Welcome, everybody. My name is Frank Salas. I am internationally known as the talented Mr. Salas, and I have a tribe called the Talent Tribe. And part of my duty and my service to the Talent Tribe is to help you watching this right now, give you some game in social media. And I constantly bring my influencer friends and people who are just straight killing it in the industry. And a lot of you guys are listening to Ty Lopez and all these other people selling you this course for, whatever it costs and telling you that you can run your own social media company. It's super easy. And all you got to do is buy this course. And I'm seeing there's a bunch of young, hungry, hardworking millennial entrepreneurs or aspiring millennial entrepreneurs who aren't seeing results, who are seeing results, but then not realizing what they just got themselves into and realizing, oh crap, this is a lot of work. And I want to have a super candid conversation with one of my good friends, Nick Robbins. Nick, tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah, what's going on, Frank? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate having me on the show. It's good to chat with you here. I'll give you a quick little background. So I'm a partner at an agency. There's two of us who founded it about 2 years ago now. 3 years ago. I don't know, somewhere in there, 2.5, 3 years ago. First 8 months, no sales, man. So that's one of the things I love that you brought up, you're going to get sold this course. It's going to be super easy. You're going to be a billionaire overnight. I mean, and just look at your newsfeed and you'll see 50 people that say, oh yeah, I made 15,000 this month on Facebook, and I wish it was that easy. But, so getting back to how we got started here, so for about 8 months, man, we had no sales. We were trying to sell SEO actually, and AdWords website. I was part of BNI, if people are familiar with Business Networking International. Figured out it was the wrong market. I mean, get this, Frank, we dropped our SEO to like $500 a month, and we were getting people front page in like 30 to 60 days, and no one bought.
What?
Yeah, man. So we can have a whole discussion about pricing later. I know you're all about that stuff too, but yeah, it was a struggle. I actually supported myself during that time by playing daily fantasy sports. I'm a big numbers guy. So I have a cousin who's basically a professional gambler. He used to be big into poker. And was making anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 a year at the time playing daily fantasy sports. And he kind of took me under his wing, so I charged a credit card when I quit my job and lived off a bankroll. Every night I was like, shit, if I lose, I got to go to work in the morning. So I would spend all morning and that time doing, trying to sell the business, and then all afternoon and evening studying sports. NBA was really where we spent most of our time at. And it was a grind, man. It was really tough every day, just hoping. Then about a year ago, everything changed. My business partner quit his job. He walked away from a 6-figure-a-year job. He was helping support it while we were going, and I was kind of trying to sell because he's more of the back end. And we had nothing. He quit his job, $0. He has a mortgage. Debt, all that type of stuff. And we're just like, burn the boats. One of our top sayings is, if you burn the boats, you're going to take the fucking island, the old Tony Robbins thing. And so from there, we just started hustling. I came across Billy Jean, actually. I will always give out the shout to Billy Jean because he opened my eyes to the cold video email prospecting method, and then also being able to charge 50% for Facebook ads, 50-50 management fee. Opened the door, man. And since then, we've gone from zero to well over $100,000 in revenue this month. We've been doing 100,000 respectively. We're going to do over 7 figures this year. Yeah. It's been quick, man, but it's been basically a straight up trajectory since then. A lot of fun. Now we're really focusing on scaling. We just hired 4 salespeople. We've got an account manager, fulfillment, office. It's going to hold 20 people, and really just trying to automate everything now. But I'm still very, very heavy in the day-to-day grind.
That's awesome, man. So, dude, you just said so many things that I want to break down for our audience is because you're just, I love the way you play ball, man. I just love it. You got a credit card, you're gambling, you're hitting this up in the morning, man. And a lot of people might feel X, Y, and Z about that. First off, screw you guys for being judgmental. This is a hustler. And if you don't burn your boats, like Nick's saying, if you don't have that kind of mentality, you don't deserve to be a successful entrepreneur. You don't deserve to be sitting in a chair like Nick is talking about how he's making 6 figures a month and how he wants to go to 7 figures, and he's not bullshitting. He's telling you the truth. And he's one of the most realist guys who has the most practical and applicable advice that I've ever seen online. And he has an online community called, tell him about your online community because I don't like to cuss.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. Yeah, so we actually started a community called Business Not Bullshit, And it actually takes us back to the main point where you're talking about how everyone's out there preaching that, you're going to make $1 million overnight or $10,000 a month next month with Facebook ads. We got sick of this. I've taken a lot of courses. I'm huge on personal development and study and courses. You can see behind me, I've got hundreds of books I've read over the years. But we got sick of seeing so many course sellers that literally have 0 clients and nothing. And we're like, well, we've got over 50 clients and we got a 7-figure business. We should probably talk about what it's really like to scale. And we actually got scammed. I'm not going to mention any names, but we ran into a really bad scam, and it just got us all so frustrated. Like, you know what? Let's start something where people can come. They're not going to feel pressure to buy $1,000 course. We're going to be able to give value, build a network too. I mean, sure, is there selfish reasons? Yeah, the more people I met you through there, Frank. You know what I mean? Like, as you came on there, like, it's all about the networking for us, and then building a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who can grow together. I'm sure you feel the same way I do, Frank. There's no competition out there. I'm not worried about someone coming in and taking over. There's so much money in this world, and there's so many ways to make money. So we just wanted to have a good spot where it was real advice, and you're not, being pitched half of the truth. So that we have to pay for the whole truth. So we just wanted to be able to spell it out. So yeah, business, not bullshit. We got the parentheses, no courses on there.
No courses, man. And so I promote, one of my marketing methods for my personal brand is I'll post some really great content on my Facebook page, and I'll share them into Facebook groups, or my assistant does. But before I post into your group, with respect, I come correct, man. I don't share from my business page because I'm like, yo, this is not a course thing. And I'm definitely promoting myself, but I'm leading with value. And like, you will have me have like a slight call to action, like, hey, comment something below and I'll send you some free information on this. But before I get to that little mini ask, I'm giving 2,000 to 3,000 words of just value, or maybe like a video or something. And
absolutely, man. And here's the thing with it. Like, are we never going to have a workshop or something? I don't know. We might. People are asking us all the time, but it's more about just no bullshit, So like with you, when you come in, we don't mind if you come in and post. It's going to be because we talked to you. We know you on the back end. We know what you're doing. We know how legit you are. Our biggest thing is really vetting. We talk about a couple of Facebook courses in there that, we recommend and that we check off. We don't actively sell them. There's no affiliate links on there or whatever, but it's more about just making sure that there's no bullshit coming in, and it's all real advice from people who are really doing it, and really have a lot of clients and really know what it's like to look at scaling and how to retain clients and all that type of stuff. There's so many things that they're just not being talked about out there, from how to hold a trial call, how to close a call, to retention. No one talks about retention in any of these, and then, because everyone's going to get the same thing, especially with Facebook ads. Lead quality sucks. It's the number one thing that everyone's going to hear, but there's no talk about how to deal with that. So we just want to bring like real talk, real stuff. Even as simple as merchant accounts, most people don't understand how risky or how much of a pain in the ass it can be if you start getting chargebacks. Merchant accounts will lock you up. Being on multiple of those, making sure you're getting all your points on a good credit card. We've got an Amex Gold card right here. That gets 3% back on everything. We make several $1,000s a month just on that alone because we're spending 6 figures in advertising or whatever it is. Just little stuff that's just not talked about a lot,
So first and foremost, I got to talk about your community real quick, because I really respect your community. And even though I contribute at a high level, I feel I'm just as much as I'm contributing, I'm reading, I'm learning, and I'm getting those stuff. And I'm asking for advice because it is just a great community of people who are doing things. And it's like a great mix of veterans, intermediates, and newbies. And everyone's always just contributing. I never see any hate. I never see any like people just with their egos and that kind of stuff. All I see is help in there. So if you're interested in that, we're going to give you the links here and a link somewhere around if you're wherever you're watching.
Yeah, always
somewhere there. Maybe if you're on Facebook, if you comment chatbot, I'm going to send you over to or no BS. I'm going to send you over to his page and you can like it. We might have something crazy like that set up. We don't know, but going back to kind of your business and that tip that you just shared with me, I want to break that down because I didn't know about that. And I just applied for my whole Amex Gold with the 3% back. And I'm asking for the points and this and that. Yeah. Because you're taking your customer's ad spend. You are taking that money, putting it on the credit card. The customer's already giving that money, but now you're making money off of the ad spend. And that's 3%. Yeah. And if your ad spend's, $100,000, that's $3,000 you're getting back, and then points, you're doing all that stuff. So that's solid business right there. And those are the little tips that are very practical. a lot of people maybe don't have their first client, and lead generation is, something that people always talk about. I don't want to focus on that too much, but I know that you're a stud on lead generation. Otherwise, you wouldn't have 50 clients.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit about your philosophy, the way you run your offense when it comes to lead generation.
Yeah, absolutely. So number one, first and foremost, I talk about this all the time. You got to be going after the right client. The best thing that ever happened to me was 8 months of no sales, talking with BNI and local people who just didn't care about scaling and lived off referrals and whatever. That's their life, Like, that's not a real business. If you're not marketing and spending to acquire customers, you're never going to explode. You're never going to automate a business. That's just how it works, in my opinion. So make sure you're going after the correct leads. From there, pick a couple different niches to target. But once you find one, stick with that niche for a while. We hear it all the time. Niches mean riches. It's been very true in our sense. We're trying to be the jack of all trades. It just didn't work. Plus, a huge part of our model is scaling and duplicating what works. So if a campaign works in one area, it's most likely going to work in another. So you can quickly build and scale out. It makes your downtime much easier, as opposed to only getting paid $1,000 to break down a business and build a whole new ad set and do all this stuff. So choose a niche, focus on that, become really good at it, and then from there to actually get people interested. Custom cold emails was what started it for us. Personalized custom cold emails specific to the niche with very specific videos. And we would actually build videos using Camtasia, or I would build videos using Camtasia, walk them through the process and send a custom video to them. Then we started getting hits back and responses back, and people were going. And then we'd take them through a free trial, and then they would close down. And that's really how it scaled from there. What still works? Cold calling. And I know it works because I have 4 people calling for me right now, and I'm taking like 30 calls a week at least for new trial setup. So that stuff still works if you get in the door, especially if you're doing the common method that's out there right now as far as doing up a free trial. You're going to get interest. I know nobody wants to pick up the phone and it sucks, but sometimes when you've got more time than money, you got to do what you got to do. And I think you brought it up a little bit, but I guess got to say that you got to have perseverance. I can't tell you, I understood after going 8 months gambling every night, no sales and all that stuff. And then even now, just because there's money coming doesn't mean there's problems. There's all kinds of problems every freaking day. I've learned to just be like, you know what, fuck it. It's just going to come up. It is what it is. But you got to have a strong mindset and just keep going. Our first 2 clients left us. Since then, we've got a 98% retention rate. So there's little things like that. So I know that was a little more lead generation, but I just wanted to get out some of my main tips for getting going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So there's just so much that you broke down in there. Before we go into this, I want to kind of piggyback on your cold calling, because cold calling does work in any niche, any industry, no matter what you're doing. If you don't have clients, and like Nick says, if you have more time than you have money, pick up the phone and smile and dial. And for those of you guys who are maybe scared of that, or maybe don't want to do that, or maybe you've never done that, this might help you, because this helped me. One of my first sales jobs that I ever got was cold calling millionaires and selling them oil and gas wells in Texas. And so that taught me so much. I'm so glad that I was at that job, because it was like minimum wage basically. And I was like, the knowledge that I got from being there I've carried with me my whole life. And the philosophy that I had, the mindset that I had when I was picking up the phone was not, I got to call these people. Is, oh man, I'm going treasure hunting. I'm going to be going with my shovel. I'm going to be digging. There's going to be a lot of dirt. There's going to be a lot of rocks. There's going to be a lot of trash. But I'm going to find that one diamond today. I know I'm going to find that one day. Every day there's that one diamond. And that was the mentality that I had. And when I was thinking about that, I would visualize that diamond, visualize that treasure, visualize that success. And I would be like, is this a person? Is this a person? Oh, no. Awesome. Thank you. I got told no. That's awesome. I'm another step closer to getting to that point. So just wanted to let people know how I thought about cold calling.
Let me touch on that, man, because that actually talks. So my first ever job, after I was working in Outburger, that was fun. But my first real job, was actually as a debt collector in college on the phone. And so that was just incredible. I just got beat to shit all day, every day. And then I actually worked in professional sports and sales, which, sounds really sweet and stuff. And I worked for the Sacramento Kings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But for anybody who knows anything about sports, I worked for the Sacramento Kings in 2011 when they were looking to move the team away from Sacramento and sell them. And they were horrible. And the arena was awful. And if you think calling businesses is mad, call pissed off sports fans who are just ready to cuss you out and act like you're the one out there on the court every day. So I got started with that. And then I moved to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm like, sweet, I'm in the NFL. This is going to be great. all of a sudden Tampa Bay Buccaneers go 2-14 and they're the worst team in the league. You know, and so again, getting cussed out by angry people in the South, you know, it was one of the best skills I developed though. I truly believe that for anything in life, I know people are afraid of sales and all this crap. It's such a valuable skill because you're always selling. You're selling your family members, you're selling your friends on your ideas. I mean, and to be a business owner, it is all that matters is sales. You know, to get started, obviously you need to fulfill or whatever, but the most important part of the process is sales and advertising. And it's also, in my opinion, the most valuable skill you can learn.
100%, man. 100%. I want to jump back because you're just leaking diamonds. So I don't do golden nuggets on my shows. I do diamonds, baby.
I love it, man.
So you said something earlier about custom cold emails that had videos on there.
Yep.
People are throwing emails with videos. What?
Yeah, man. People are clicking on them and they're responding. You know, it was crazy. We were getting about a 10 to 15% response rate asking to talk. You know, granted, these videos, especially when I first got started, took forever. We're talking like 4 or 5 hours of video, like 40 hours to get ready for 20. I remember the first time I was getting set up, it was almost like a last-ditch effort, man. Seriously, it was, because we were just like running out of ideas. I didn't know what to do, getting started. I hadn't found a lot of the groups that I found now and a lot of the pieces that are out there. And it was kind of a last-ditch effort. We'll see. And then all of a sudden, the next day, we got a response. And it was actually going after a specific business that I almost didn't add on the list because it wasn't local here in Utah. I'm located out in Salt Lake City, Utah. We were still looking at being the local business at that point. And I added this one because it looked like a good target, and they were the one that responded. And from there, we got a $3,000 deal, and it just took off, man.
So what's on the emails or what's on the videos? Like, what are you doing on the videos?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a quick breakdown. And so basically what I did was I would just start with myself with the website in the background. And then I would build them out a specific campaign. I would be like, okay, so if we're going to do a yoga studio, I would literally take their logo and build them exactly what it would be. And I would walk them through why Facebook ads were so important. So I'd have, you know, a picture of the targeting page and be like, look, you can target people with yoga pants and, you know, this and that. And then I would take them to the ad and I would talk about the advertisement. Like, this goes right in the feed. It's going to go right for the perfect prospect to be your customer. And then I'll take them to the thank you page where it's like, we got the call, or to the landing page where it's like, this is where you collect their info and then it gets emailed directly to you. And I take them to the thank you page. I'm like, this is where you put your, you know, bigger call to action, get them to call in. And then I would say, hey, we'll run this for you for free. I've already got it built out. I took these hours. It's very big. I'm big on the theory of reciprocity. I don't know if you ever read Influence, Robert Cialdini, but I'm very big on that. So I'm like, hey, I built this for you. Can I run it for you? And it got people's attention. And that's basically what we had in the videos. It's the 5-step process.
Man, dude, that's a gem right there. People just put, because that's a lot of work from what you just did. That's you weren't able to like copy and paste and have a script, or all these kids want scripts. And I'm like, why don't you just have conversations with business owners? If you send out 100 cold scripts versus having 10 conversations with business owners, you're probably going to have more success with those conversations.
That's how we, yeah, man. So I know people who mass email and do well or whatever, but it's worked very much better for us building that custom personalized relationship on the email. And it's been huge. And I've always been a very relationship driven person, building relationships, and that's how I sell. You know, I'm not a bulldog out there pushing people over, like, you know, tongue twisting them into sales. It's more of like having a conversation with them so that they just there's no way that they could possibly say no. Because based on the way I've asked them questions, they like talk themselves into it. You know, that's basically how I strategize my sales. And because that really helps with retention and long-term relationships and all that stuff. But yeah, the personalized touch has been huge.
100%, man, 100%. So I just want to clarify, you are making custom videos out of the cold for individual businesses with their logos. So this is not something you can copy and paste. You are building this out individually for these business owners.
Yes, that's how I got started, man. Everything, dude, the videos, I mean, try talking for 6 minutes straight and having to get it perfect too. You know, I started getting better and better at it. You know, I started cutting out pieces of the process and pieces of the process. And now we don't do it because we have other methods. But yeah, the whole thing, dude, it was brutal. And the first one I made, it looked like shit, bro. Like, I mean, it was so bad. Like, but I set it out and stuff worked. I was like, you know what? I can't wait for this to be perfect. I just got to see if it works and if we're going to get response. Because at the end of the day, if your message is good enough in a video, then you're going to get some sort of traction. Everyone's got to start with shit. No one comes out looking like, you know, the champion. You have to rise your way up. I mean, that's just how it works. You got to get knocked down over and over again and get better. But yeah, fully custom, man, fully custom links, fully custom sites on everything. We used Instapage. Now we use ClickFunnels for most of our stuff, but we used Instapage to duplicate the links, man, and just hope that they would click. I just couldn't believe people were clicking random links from random strangers' emails on the internet, you know, but they were, and watching videos.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So that's straight hustling right there. And if you have more time and you have money and you don't have any leads, you know, my cold emails with emojis and all the NLP copywriting that I do and all these hypnosis and all these like little advantages that I stack on my emails, if I send that out to 100 people cold, 3% respond back, and that's good. So if you're getting 15%, I'm like, holy crap.
Dude, 3% is incredible, bro. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about, yeah, the emojis and all this stuff, dude. That's a hot topic inside our agency right now. It's literally is emojis. Just slap emojis on an ad and just see what happens, right? Like that's what we're actually probably going to do that today.
Nice. Yeah, you and I should definitely have a conversation with that, because emojis is something that I charge an extra upcharge. I just say, would you like emoji integration? It's an extra fee. And they're like, what does that mean? Then I talk to them about how emojis are very powerful and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So we'll get into that, because so Nick's on my show this morning and I'm going to be on his show tonight. So make sure you go to Business Not BS. They have a live page. We're going to give you guys a link somewhere here. You might even be able to chat or reply something if you're on Facebook on our chat bot and get automatically directed there. We'll probably set that up here in a bit. But I want to focus on Nick, because Nick's running a great operation over there. So Nick, you just hired 4 salespeople right now. You have a little over 50 clients. You have a business partner. You have an account manager. And what does it even look like? Like, what does the day-to-day look like once you're there?
God, right now my day-to-day is absolutely insane. We're talking at least almost once an hour. I'm having a new trial call set. The guys are doing a great job setting appointments. So I'm talking on the phone probably 4 to 5 hours a day right now. And then in between that, we're also working on moving to a larger office. So we're having to negotiate the lease and we're having to buy furniture. Fortunately, my business partner is really helping to take care of a lot of the that side of stuff. But yeah, man, it's crazy right now. And then we're like, so the whole idea with scaling, and I know you're big on this and we got to touch on it, but is policies, procedures, and making sure we set things up. Every day we're running into something new, a handoff between the salesperson to the account manager, but we're setting this up so that we can scale en masse and hire people to fully automate the day-to-day so that I can focus much more on the long term. Right now I'm very, very heavily into the grind and the sales grind. We've got 2 closing calls and 4 more calls to the trial calls today. You know, just now, and it's constantly popping up. Next week, the week is busy, but I'm doing a lot of selling right now. At the end of the day, I'm on the phone a lot.
So, you know, you're obviously like light years ahead of most people, and for them that might be unfathomable, but you just shared your story where you had no clients for 8 months. You know, you launched your first 2 clients. Talk to us about the beginning. So you were sending out these cold emails, people responded, you got your first 2 clients, and then you started seeing some success. Talk to us about the early days when you started getting clients.
I actually, before we even got the first client, I got a better story for you. So one, I told you that we only got it because I randomly put it on the list, right? And I was almost going to take it off. Once we got on the phone, we offered that free trial. We were going to generate leads to prove to them that, you know, it worked. And we hadn't tested our page, our landing page, and our funnel. We kind of thrown something up. My business partner had been in a previous agency where he'd done something similar. And we spent about $200 or $300. Keep in mind, we had no money coming in. We spent about $200 or $300 with 0 leads. And we're like, oh, what are we going to do? I remember at one point I was walking downstairs and he was just like, fuck it. Do we refund? Do we just move on, choose a new strategy? And then I was like, nah, man, we can't quite do that. And all of a sudden 1 lead popped. I'm like, oh no. And then it did pop a little bit, but we went and we just threw up a Hail Mary on the landing page. Basically, we cut everything off the landing page, had almost nothing on there. Basically said, here's why you should do it. 3 stars, give me your contact info. We took all the thing away, and then all of a sudden we started getting $40 cost of leads, and then 30. I mean, but we almost gave up on the entire model before we got started. But we didn't because it took persevered. And then we lost the first 2 clients. And one of them I did a pay-per-lead structure with, and that was a disaster. I'm never fucking touching pay-per-lead ever. But yeah, man, we just kept going. I just kept building out batches of videos, you know, week after week. And it just kept growing. Every time I sent out a batch of videos, ever, still to this day, I've gotten at least 1 client from it. And then referrals started happening and building up. And we kept studying more and more about, you know, sales and advertising and everything. But then slowly I couldn't make any more videos because I was doing so much account management. And so I was having to deal with stuff every day and sending lead reports and all this stuff. So it was really hard to find that time. And we got very fortunate. We knew someone who was an amazing account manager already, and we were able to bring her in. And she took a lot off my plate to really focus opening back up on selling again. And then over the last 2 months, we just, we're seeing 30% growth. We saw 45% growth, 41% growth last month, and we're seeing anywhere from 20 to 40% every month.
Man, that's phenomenal, dude. Just congratulations on your success. And I love seeing people who just put the work in, just be successful. I love seeing the people around me just grind and reap the rewards of that. And everybody who's listening to this call might be like, oh, well, that's Nick. And, he might be this, this, and this. Dude, he ate shit for 8 months, man. He was gambling. He was gambling.
Every day. Nothing fucking special, man. It was a ton of study, a ton of reading. A great, amazing business partner who's helped, through that and supported it and everything. And just surrounding yourself with good people now. That's our number one goal, our main focus. We've got actually my business partner's brother came in, and his salary has basically gone up 4 or 5x since we started. I think we started him at like $700 a month, helping me create these custom videos, and it's gone up a ton since then. He's been incredible for helping stuff. I mean, so surrounding yourself with good people to go through the ups and downs, because guys, it's not easy. Just because you get a client, then you have to figure out how to keep the client. And then you have to figure out how to deal with lead quality. And then you have to figure out making sure that your ads don't get tired and making sure things work. And then you have to deal with it's all fun. I have it no other way. I always had this deep calling. You've got to have such a ridiculous passion. You have to love what you do. I'm blessed. I love what I like to do on weekends is study marketing and study advertising, and learn more about it. And then during the week, I sell all week and I'm thinking about it. I'm a little crazy with the fact that I'm like obsessed, but where focus goes, energy flows. And I truly believe that you can create what you want by focusing on it, thinking about it, and just never giving up.
Man, dude, I just really love the way you play the game. I'm right there with you the whole time. And on the weekends, I go to Business Not BS Facebook page and I watch all of the old videos that you guys do, because that's where I learned that tip on how to use American Express Gold and get those 3%. And I'm looking at my ad spend for myself and my clients, and I'm like, man, that's a nice watch that I could have got every month.
Yeah, dude. I'm never buying a flight again. I have so many flights. I'm flying to Thailand in November, and I'm just like, just use this card, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, every card has like 1 billion points on it. It's awesome.
Man, dude. So you mentioned something, once you get those clients, you got to keep them. Talk to us about retaining a client. What does that even look like?
Oh, man. Client retention. So we've been very blessed. Outside of those 2 clients who left immediately when we had no idea what we were doing, we're still figuring it out. We've really only lost our retention rate's been 95% plus. So we've been very fortunate. I think our biggest thing is our reporting. And what we've developed over the last 6 months is a system where we operate as not just lead generation, but lead conversion. So we have scripting because we know our niche so well. We've got scripting for emails, scripting for phone calls. We've got call tracking. We've got online scheduling. We require a mandatory onboarding training call with whoever's going to be handling the leads in order to teach them how to handle the leads. Because even I don't care if they think they're the best in the world, they don't know our system, and we need to make sure that they handle what we have to offer. So we really look at ourselves as a lead conversion agency, because at the end of the day, part of our business model is no contracts and earning business every month. So we have to be on our A game. They have to get in our ROI, or else the business doesn't survive. So it's really about building that full system and looking at yourself as a consultant, and not just lead generation, but as a consultant for the business that you're working with.
100%, man, 100%. So I am a social media consultant, and for my consulting business, I have an executive function, which is my agency, which I keep in-house through this. And I want to backtrack from something that you said, because you broke this down, and not a lot of people know this. There's 3 different parts to a lead. There's lead generation, so Facebook ads. Then there's lead qualification, which is part of the lead conversion. So how do you qualify leads for yourself and for your business owners?
Yeah, so for our business owners, because qualifying leads for ourselves is a whole big discussion there. But for business owners, we have very specific terminology and message copy that we use in imagery. So we're going after a very, very specific type of person that knows when they see our image that it's going to pull their attention. Because we're going after someone, because we've thought about it from the buyer's journey or whatever. And avatars, all that stuff are big, but we've we've got imagery and messaging that will hit exactly who we want and go from there. So we don't do like lead quizzes. We've thought about it, things like that, but it's a combo of the imagery and the messaging that are for our target market. They know, and that qualifies them right away. And then we talk about specific insurances accepted, things like that, and then that helps qualify as well. So that's really what we do. We do some back-end targeting, not a ton. It's more about the messaging and imagery. But there's a million ways to qualify leads. That's just what's worked for us as far as keeping our leads cheap, but also making it so that, you know, they're closing a good enough percentage to come back.
100, dude, great value, man. Just great way to articulate that and break that down. So again, there's three parts to a lead, guys. There's lead generation, lead qualification, which Nick just showed you one example. There's millions to do. And to reiterate and bring his point home to you guys, because repetition is associated with association. The more you hear it, the more you're going to learn it. Just like Nick and I study and read and, you know, learn from each other and other people around us. When you are qualifying leads, one of the ways you can do that is by using your creative, your copy, even the emojis, even the calls to actions. If you have $1 million and you don't want to pay taxes this month or this year, click here. Well, if you don't have $1 million, you ain't going to click there. But if you got $1 million, you're going to click there and be like, man, I'm not trying to pay taxes. I thought Trump was going to make us richer, you know? So
no, that's brilliant. Yeah, because not many people think about the qualification process. I mean, you can qualify on the back end of targeting. You can qualify with your imagery. You can qualify with quizzes. You can qualify with a lot of different things. But yeah, we use the imagery and messaging for what we do. And the majority of local businesses, I think we would do that as well. I don't know what your experience has been, but when we start breaking down and get too crazy on the targeting, it's just skyrocketed our cost per leads everywhere for local business space, not for the national space, but for the local business space. So we don't do a whole ton of that. We, like I said, we use the imagery and the creative to make it qualify.
So for me, I use retargeting very highly, and I hyper target. I'm gonna go over that on your show at Business Not BS. You can check that out on Facebook. We'll give you a link and a call to action to do that. But I do hyper targeting where I target down very specifically, and then my retargeting is like really tedious and really meticulous, and I have no problem sharing my strategy because it's just a lot, and most people won't do that. So I'm going to share that tonight on your guys' show at Business Not BS on Facebook. I want to first and foremost, I want to check in with you because we're about 5 minutes over our agreed time. Do you still have some time? Do we need to go?
Yeah, no, we got a couple minutes, man. I blocked off an hour. I wasn't sure how long, but yeah, I got a couple minutes.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up here very, very soon, man. Thanks again. Let's speaking of wrapping up, let's talk about some closing techniques, man. Because you are a closing assassin, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I look at closing. It starts on the pre-qualification trial call. I feel like that's the most important call in the entire process here, and that's why I'm focusing big time with my salespeople on, because I demonstrate the value. You know, we talk about up front, and this is something that is so big. And I heard the other day that gurus and, you know, all these fucking course teachers or something were teaching not to do it. Talk about your price up front before you run any type of trial. Don't scare them on the back end. If someone's scared about $2,000, $3,000, you want to get far away from that human being anyways, because there's plenty of people out there with plenty of money. I'm not saying open, hey, it's going to be $3,000 before you talk about anything else. But how I do it is I walk them through, I do a demo, walk them through the whole process, what our system looks like. I talk about what we're going to look at do for the trial. And one of the big things that we focus on to qualify what niches we're going to go after is high customer acquisition. Now, I know there's plenty of strategies out there for restaurants, t-shirts, things like that. That's just where we choose not to go that route, which is just worked for us. But I basically get them to talk about how much money they can make before I talk about how much it's going to cost them. And then from there, we talk about it, and I'll use patients as an example. And there it's like, okay, so you just told me the cost of one patient was $3,000. So what our average person or average chiropractor seeing is anywhere from 10 to 20 new patients a month at that $3,000 price point. So basically, if you agree to pay me for one patient and I give you 10 in return, is that a fair deal? And I've never got a no on that, you know. So that's basically how I present the pricing, and then we'll go run the trial from there. And then on the closing call, I talk on the pre-trial call about, okay, once we can actually run, we can get your estimated cost per lead and we can get our expected value. Then on the closing call, I just bring that up and say, hey, if you get 20 people in your office, how many can you close? And like, well, I can close 10. I'm like, well, sweet. It's 10 to 1. Let's do this. You know, very, very, very high close rate in our niche. It's when we've ran trials successfully, where in our eyes, I've got 2 more today. We're 3 for 3 in the last week. So we're just got to keep them coming. But yeah, that's a little bit. But I look at it as the whole process, starting with the pre-qualification trial call, because it sets them up for an easy close. Because the last thing you want to do is say $3,000 and have to figure out how to justify a $3,000 cost to them or whatever your pricing is.
And then just another, just to piggyback on that, if you send your prices ahead of time and then they come back to like, I can't afford this, then you're like, Mr. Business Owner or Mrs. Business Owner, why did you take this meeting if you knew what our rates were? You know, and now you kind of put them in a corner because no one wants to lose face. And they probably could afford that. They're just kind of telling you something to go away. So I want to share my screen with you guys and do a little bit of teaser for you guys who are not yet on the business, not BS Facebook page. This is what I'm going to share tonight. One thing that I do whenever I send over my information to my business owners is I send them this. This is a complimentary campaign if I'm running a complimentary campaign, and this will kind of show my prices ahead of time. So they kind of know what I'm charging. My monthly retainer starts at $2,000. These are my setup fees and all this. And they kind of see this before they even have this meeting. And that really, really kind of eliminates the people that aren't able to say, or who want to be a little, you know, price conscious, if you will.
Yeah. And guys, just so you know, if people are afraid to spend $2,000 and say it's way too expensive, just run away. Like, our job isn't to educate business owners on why they should be marketing. There's a large percentage who are just not very intelligent in that aspect, which, I mean, we can blame it on them. We can blame it on their schools for not teaching, whatever. But the last thing you want to do is spend all your time with a client that's making $1,000 a month. Like, I know when you're getting started, you want to take everything on, you want to do whatever, but it can be way too much work for the hassle. And the guys who are worried about $1,000, $2,000, they're going to be the biggest pains because they're charging grandpa's credit card, you know, to have their business run. And on top of that, if they've never marketed before and they aren't used to spending that money, they're most likely going to blow all the leads and not get sales and then blame you for lead quality. So it just is a massive headache. I won't even talk. If people just at all complain about a couple $1,000s a month, I just don't. I'm like, you know, we're not going to fit. Peace out. You know, it's just not worth it.
Dude, I can feel your like disgust and your angst and your irks from here, and I love that.
Dude, the same way. So we're in a very specific, we're in a niche right now where I'm running into that with the office managers, and it's obnoxious. The other day she's like, "Oh my gosh, $3,000! That's more than we pay our employees." I'm like, I literally was like, "Call me if that guy ever wants to grow a real business." It was like my fourth call in the morning, and two of them were just like people were just dumb, and I'm like, "You're talking." They don't even get the 10-to-1 thing. It's just mind blowing. So yes, I get very frustrated and I run away from those things quickly. It's not my job to teach them. It is to teach, consult with marketing, but it's not my job to convince them to market in the first place. Our main goal is to get people to shift advertising money from print, radio, TV, newspaper over to online. That's who we target right now. There's still a massive opportunity for that. And that's what we go after. You know, we want to shift advertising budgets, not teach people how to advertise.
Love it, man. Love it. You've been very, very generous with your knowledge and your time. Before you go, is there anything you want to speak to? Most of the people that watch my stuff are millennials. They want to travel the world like me. They follow my channel, and they know that one of the ways that I make money is through my digital agency. And I will, you know, confess that there's been times in my business where in real estate, I'm working on a big deal and someone can't get a visa approved or a contract gets pushed back. And now I've got to wait 3 to 6 months for substantial income. And my agency has kept me flush because we have no office. We're not like Nick. We don't have like all these employees that need all this space. So it's helped me stay very flush and have a lot of cash to be able to finance my travel. So what do you want to tell those people who are interested in taking these steps?
So I could talk for like 6 hours on this, but I'm going to give a couple of things, especially to that demographic, which I'm not that far away from by any means. I'm 29, but you're surrounded by a bunch of lazy, entitled pieces of shit. Do not be entitled. Do not be lazy. We're taught in this world where it's, you know, we should just be given everything. No, the world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. But we live in the greatest time in the history of the world in order to be entrepreneurs, to get our message out. And we do not want to take that for granted. You know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was no social media online. You had to call people. You had to write freaking letters back and forth 20 years ago, you know, to get business done. And now you can post something up and become a sensation overnight. So don't give up. You said something earlier. Majority of the people never take action. That's just the truth. That's another reason why I'm not afraid to share. I think there's plenty of money for everybody, but most people aren't going to do it, you know, and those people who do it and rise up, those are the people I want to get to know. But just continue to work hard, learn, study. There's no excuses. You can learn anything you ever wanted online. I got a degree in finance and accounting. I have learned way more that has benefited me from studying online, learning from people, you know, like Frank, who've got amazing courses out here, that's benefited me financially than my business degree ever did. No excuses. Don't be entitled. Don't be lazy. Quit thinking you're more important than you are. Life is really not that big. Just have some fun with it. And yeah, just work, man. I don't know. I'm a huge believer in just work until you figure your shit out. Like, work solves all problems to me.
I love it, man. Work solves all problems. And I really just vibe and resonate with everything that you say. Yeah. One of the reasons I'm really attracted to your community, because there's no magic bullets there. There's no silver bullets. There's no unicorns. There's no rainbows. It's like, yo, who wants to put the work in? This works. Work your ass off, man.
Yep. That's it, man. I would love to hear if anyone actually goes out, builds custom videos, sends emails, because I guarantee it'll work. I know it does because I do it. It's not like I'm spewing theory here. We've done it. I know it works. So it's just about putting the time and the effort. Most people aren't going to do that, which is, you know, fine. Honestly, the less people are willing to work, the more it gives guys like us who will work a chance. But I just want to get the message out. It's all possible. We have every opportunity in the world right now. We live in the greatest time in the history of the world to be entrepreneurs and build our own businesses. I know I already said that, but I got to say it again. There has been no better time ever.
100%. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Nick Robbins. Nick is a legitimate social media marketing agency who is looking to scale to 7 figures a month, guys. That is his goal. A month, not a year, a month. I love his vision. I love everything about him. It's just really great to be in your circle, Nick. And if you want to go ahead and catch me on Nick's show tonight, or the replay, if you're watching this on a replay, just go to Facebook and search for Business Not BS. And before we jump off, I want to make sure that I show you guys where it's at, because he's got a few different ways you can connect with him in his community. So I'm going to share my screen real quick so everybody can see this. And this is his Facebook group. We have about 1,000 people in there at the time of this recording. We've got studs in there like Nick, of course. We've got Matt, who's a social media restaurant consultant out in Cincinnati. We got Dan Henry. This guy sold millions of dollars on courses online. We've got Matthew Purvis, who's out there in Australia just killing the game with real estate agents out there. I'm in there dropping knowledge, and it's free. There's no fee to get in. It's 100% free. They meet a few times a week. They have hangouts and such a supportive environment. But where you want to find the interviews and everything is on their Facebook page. Over here, throw them a like. They just are growing this. They're not putting any ads for this. This isn't like a numbers game, and no one's trying to stroke any egos. We just got a community of people who are in this industry, who are looking to connect, who are looking to contribute and provide value. So, Nick, once again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Hey, man. Thank you, Frank. Looking forward to having you on tonight, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right. See you later.